Good day, everybody. I'm Drew, and this is Josh, and we're just coming off hot of the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. Josh, let's jump straight into it. We've been waiting for this for a long time. What did you think? You know, just straight off the bat, we got like a bunch of games. We got, you know, a bunch of third parties there. We saw like a decent amount of the hardware itself, but not as much of a glimpse of like the operating system, the UI, all of that type of nerdy stuff, which I kind of expected to see like announced over the next month or so as we lead into the launch on the 5th of June, which is a nice close release date, which is great. So what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, obviously we've just come from it, like very raw right now, just having seen the experience, and it's like an hour long and a lot of stuff being shown. They covered a lot. Like they showed us a lot of what the stuff will, like what the Switch 2 will do. Obviously the opening launch titles with Mario Kart World, and you know, some other like third-party developer announcements as well. So I'm just feeling like so many questions, so many things that we're working out online posts. Like the price, I think we've sort of worked out from Twitter and online, and all the other details. Like I'm checking pre-order, like in Australia, checking EB Games, JB, just see if there's anything.
I had a quick look
just to see, and there's nothing so far. But we'll keep checking as we go along. But like you said, there's so much still not that we still don't know, because there was so much we didn't know outside of that very first look trailer back in January. So we've got a lot to go through today and discuss, and there'll be more that comes out in the Treehouse Live that comes in the next couple of days. We've got a Mario Kart World Direct next, in a couple of weeks. And then, the thing launches on the 5th of June. So a lot happening.
It certainly is. So I reckon let's jump into the hardware itself. They touched on just the features that went sort of over the actual unit itself, and went a lot into the C button, which is, bringing up in-game chat, that uses the Nintendo Switch 2 camera, which is something you can buy if you wish. Just no real surprises except for like we've spent so long speculating what that extra button is, and it turned out to be probably the first thing that popped into people's minds. Like, is it a chat button? Something like that? It's like, no, it can't be. It's something more elaborate than that, Nintendo. It would be something that just like delivers your favorite pizza to your door with just a click of a button. But yeah, no, it was very simple, and it looks like what you would expect from Discord. You can talk to your mates, you can bring up their gameplay, you can include your image in there if you have the camera, and ideally, if that works as simple as possible, that's a great thing, especially for Mario Kart World, which looks incredible. I cannot wait to play that fucking game. We'll definitely get into that. But if I think the best thing about it is just that it's like the press of a button, because I think Xbox and PlayStation, all that, they have Discord integrated into the system, but if you asked me how to do it, I couldn't tell you. I've never used it. So the idea of this, I'll play with Josh, and I can play a couple of rounds, and I don't have to talk to you. I don't have much time. My patience is low. The kids just went to bed. I just want to sort of melt into my couch, and I don't want to be social. But if I have a bit of a change of mood, a change of heart, I go, no, bugger it up. We'll talk to Josh. I press that button and jump into it that way. So I like how it works on premise. And I also really enjoyed how in depth they went into it, explaining to us what voice chat is.
Correct.
Like, this is a long trailer for this.
It was cool though. Like you said, we kind of guessed this would be something that the top USB-C port would do. And the first thing people said was camera, and lo and behold, that's correct. But there'll be multiple things that I imagine will eventually come out for this thing on top of this camera that you can insert on the top there. But and the C buttons for chat, group chat, or game chat, whatever it was called. People were right. It's they've sold it to us in a way that makes it a lot more easier. And I did think of the Discord as well. That it's one less thing. It's all integrated. You can show your face as well with the camera. and then we're going to get like these extra experiences like iToy back in the day on the PS2 kind of
it
levels
is
of,
the iToy. Yeah,
it's the iToy right there. So you know, I think it was a pretty smart way to show it with the Super Mario Party Jamboree and showing the extra TV, whatever it was called, mode expansion for this now Switch 2 edition game. That could be a lot of fun, and seeing people's faces. If you're playing with someone, you know, not in your lounge room, that's going to be like bringing up some pretty funny, you know, scenarios where you can see their reactions. And I think that's a great feature for like a co-op party game to experience that. As long as it doesn't get in the way of the actual connection speeds and like lags so much that it makes the game unplayable. I don't know. We saw like they're showcasing the group chat or the game chat early, and like some of the like, you know, the images didn't look great at the bottom there, did they? They kind of looked a little, you know, off, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just to show rough indication of what's going on, especially if you're playing other games at the same time, which I thought was cool. But yeah, I thought, oh, they were zooming in on that a little too closely, maybe just to see how slow that was. But yeah,
my reaction.
Idea.
Yeah, my reaction was just, oh, they're being honest. Like,
yeah,
it's not gonna. You're not streaming 1080, and I made a remark while I was watching it because I recorded my my reaction.
Yeah,
and I just basically said to myself like, oh, it's like me trying to stream, like it's just that choppy and just all that.
This is Australian internet right here.
Yeah, and you know, yeah, it's just good enough. But like, oh, what's Josh up to? Oh, he's over there doing that. Like, I'm not sat there with popcorn watching like everybody's gameplay necessarily. It is just what it needs to be.
But we could hang out and not play the same game, which is cool. I think that's great.
Yeah, because like a lot of people do that in Discord, and whenever anybody says like they had a games night with people, I'm like, why don't I do that with my friends? Because like I just never think about it, because that's one of the most fun things for me actually is just bring your consoles over, bring a TV over, and we just all sort of play next to each other. Just do like a single player game. Like I'm doing some missions, cleaning up some stuff. You know, someone else is doing something else. I kind of like that. So I want to do more of that, but that's not really what they were going for. They'll like showing people actually play games. But what I really enjoyed is just seeing like more snippets of Mario Kart World in that section. We talked about it a couple of days ago, Josh, and they did exactly what I wanted them to do. They made an open world Mario Kart game.
Yeah, they've done
free
it.
roam and everything. I'm like, holy shit!
It looks so great. Looks so fun, and I love that direction they've gone in. It just this really is, you know, the next level of Mario Kart, and we've been deprived of it for 10 years because 8 Deluxe sold so well. So I love the name. I love the direction they're going in, and I think it's going to be a massive console seller for the Switch 2. It's going to ensure this console successful. This game right here.
Yeah. Just I was trying to pick up on exactly what was going on. Like, you can, in the races, you can interact with the level. So, like, one of the characters went to a truck and sort of drove the truck into the other playable characters.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm like, right. Then looks like you could change
or something. Outfits changing. Midway
yeah,
through.
so it looks like you could change your vehicle to like a plane or like different vehicles and stuff. There was a lot going on. I'm like, oh shit! Like, there's
underwater. There was boats. You're on the water. So driving on the water, instead of usually just get underwater straight away and propeller, but that was a bit different. Just little things like that. And it looks like, paths diverge a bit with the 24 races. Seems to be a lot of that going on. And if it really is open world, then that opens up a lot of possibilities with how you do a race. And then like it's saying you can get in between cups or races by driving there as well. So like, what does that mean? What incentives do you have for doing that well? All those other things that we're going to find out in a couple of weeks, I'm sure. But it's very different, but it's very cool.
I cannot wait, dude. It looks.
Yeah,
I was in awe. It's a little bit of a shame for me in some ways because it was the first one. So I was like, holy shit, this. Like I said on the last episode of the House Mario we recorded, I was just like, this is a dream game. Like this is like they made it. Hopefully they pull it off. I cannot wait for a direct to see more. Yeah, like just seeing like the battle mode, what they do with that, like because like they have. I just thought of it just then. They have the chance to do something so special. They got an open world map. they could do like a massive battle royale with like 100 cars and it closes in. Like, I know battle royales, like, oh, everybody's doing it, but that would be so much fun. Imagine like 100 cars going around like this big map, and like you got item boxes and like certain bits, and there might even be special items that, like in Halo, for example, where like there's like a power weapon somewhere where you can go and get it, or it respawns different places. Like, there are just so many different ideas, like that they could do in this for different modes and everything.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty I'm pretty excited about the game itself. I just wonder, like in the free roam, like it would be great, like in Forza Horizon, how there's stuff to collect and level up your car and all that in the process of doing that. So hopefully it's not just like, oh look, you can drive around and you can find a race. Hopefully there's like stuff to collect and all that in there as well. But being a Mario game, you'd think that's on top of the mind for the developers in some ways. They're like, oh look, we got your collectibles. That's kind of what you do in Mario. Yeah. So hopefully they've got that under wrap. But yeah,
I've
stoked.
Full faith that that's going to be the case. And it's going to be a pack-in option for those who want a Switch 2 with a digital copy of that game. That's a package for you as well. Otherwise, you can buy it physically from the sounds of it and separately from the console. So, this looks super fun. There is so much they could do. What was the mode where you, if you're like, you go from race to race, and if you're near the end, you get dropped off and it keeps getting cut. I love those
knockout tour.
The knockout tour. I love those sorts of modes in the racing games or any sorts of games like that, but very arcadey kind of style of a game mode. And so that's going to be fun online. There'll be more stuff announced as well. So yeah, this is looking absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Like it looks great. I will say, just like, and with a lot of these games too, there isn't really much of like a step up in terms of graphics, but it seems to be like my sort of read on the situation is obviously like the power's going more towards like, obviously for this it's way bigger. It's an open world. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it seems to be like more of an emphasis on like 4K and 60 frames per second rather than the graphics, which is fine on my thing. But just as far as like a screenshot goes, because when the Switch 2 was officially like revealed a couple of months ago, when they first showed like just a little snippet of gameplay from this, it kind of looks the same, like just from like a horsepower point of view. It's all about sort of everything else, which I'm quite happy about. I guess we better touch on that too, just as far as like the actual hardware goes.
Yes.
We've got 4K output. We've got 120
frames per second.
120 variable refresh rate. I'm kind of dying at this point. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to remember all these terms and things. But as far as like the screen and that goes, IPS, not OLED. We're expecting that. But as far as everything else with the screen goes, it seems like it's a little bit unexpected to get 120 frame capable screen from Nintendo, but at the same time, so many devices use that type of screen, so it might have actually been harder for them not to get a screen that does that.
Hey, it's probably very cheap by now, more so than it was 8 years ago, so that's why it's in there now. 256 gigs of internal storage. I'm reading it's going to be similar battery life, 2 to 6.5 hours of battery life depending on the game you play. 7.9 inch screen, but that was against the 6.2 inch screen of the original, so that's a big upgrade for those like me who've hung on to the original ones. So I think it's ticked the mark of what they needed to do for it to feel like an upgrade, and a decent one at that as well. Having that dock that cools the Switch 2 while it's docked as well, will help with the 4K output when you're playing on the TV, which I think was massive, and I think huge for a lot of people wanting to see better looking and running games on their next generation Nintendo console.
Think about that, like you're playing a game at 1080p on the handheld, which is another great thing. 1080 on that size looks crisp and gorgeous. It's gonna be very nice, but when you dock it and it's like, all right, you're docked, it's got to like the difference between 1080 and 4K is huge. Like the amount of processing that bad boy is going to have to kick in to actually utilize that resolution is going to be pretty nuts. But I guess with Nintendo Switch 2 edition games as well, Josh, we got a glimpse of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. What are your thoughts? Massive Metroid fan. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of like, because we had the direct last week, Metroid was shown there and had no release date. So I'm just like, and then we saw the Switch 2 edition games on the website. I'm thinking there just has to be like, this would make so much sense for this to be one of those Switch 2 edition games. And lo and behold, it was one of them. We saw a little bit of a little extra tease of it in this direct here, but no release date still. So it was really making me think it's not a launch game. It's going to come, I think, in the last quarter of 2025 now. I think it's going to, because we're getting Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza in July. I think, August, September, maybe September onwards, we'll get Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and we'll have a separate extra direct or something that talks about that. I think this is a very cool feature. Makes a lot of sense. It meant, like some things that got theorized like for years actually happened in this direct, which is really surreal. Like this whole idea that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom will get upgrades, and lo and behold, they have, and they're getting visual looking upgrades, and they look a lot better. I'm interested to see like comparisons to what it's originally runs on the Switch. But I just from my looks of it, I was watching it in 4K output, this direct. It looks a lot better, I think, this these Switch 2 edition games. So so that's like the very basic of upgrades, but then we get like obviously Super Mario Party Jamboree with extra modes as well. So very cool to see. It's just gonna, it means they can add DLC or extra ways for people to, play their games and experience it and have another reason to obviously upgrade.
Yeah, I was really hoping they were going to show like the physical packaging, because it looks like you can go and buy a copy of Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild as a Switch 2 edition game, which sounds interesting. That's what I think they said.
But we saw the game package thing, like a piece of cardboard or something with a code, probably.
Yeah, they did show that. Like, if you already have the game.
Yeah.
I wonder if if you're like brand new, you've never bought this game before, would you go and buy the normal game and then an upgrade, like for the physical edition? I'm not quite sure, but
yeah, not sure.
I just want to go back to Metroid Prime Beyond. Like, it's crazy that they've got a quality and a performance mode on a Nintendo console. So if you play handheld, you're at 1080p. You can play 120 frames with HDR. That doesn't sound like Nintendo.
Doesn't sound Nintendo at all.
120 frames.
Yeah.
Jesus. What a treat.
This game's going to look amazing in 4K. I haven't watched the trailer again. I need to watch it again, but this will be a great way to showcase the output of this console with Metroid Prime 4 here. So happy they've done it, and then obviously Retro getting the keys back to Metroid Prime, the series, to be able to do this, and the timing with the initial delays meant that they've been able to do this and create it. So, you're totally right. This is like definitely not Nintendo-like stuff here from what we've known in the past, and into talking about performance and frames and things like that. It's just a nice, didn't get too technical, but just sort of a little pivot deviation towards that, just to I think just show people, these hardcore dedicated Switch users, that this is what it's doing, this is how it will look better for you to play.
Because when they said like, oh look, the screen can go up to 120 frames, I'm like, we're not going to use that.
I just couldn't believe it. Yep. And
honestly, don't expect to get anywhere near that for like native Switch 2 games. It's kind of like what happened with Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, how when we were getting these cross-gen games like PS4 and PS5, the games ran amazing on PS5, but when developers started targeting those consoles, the frame rate started going, down to 30, and they started prioritizing graphics and all of that type of thing. So I would expect a similar thing to this. So a couple of years into Switch 2, we're going to be looking at probably 20 or 30 or 60 frames, depending on what the developers want to do. But it seems like, this direct just gave me the impression that resolution and frame rate come first. That's sort of the impression I got from this slate of games, especially the third-party stuff.
Yeah.
But what else we got here?
I've just found the price, Drew. It's going to be $699 in Australia.
The Australian price.
Yep.
So it is officially $450 American?
$450 American and then $699 Australian. So currently the exchange rates, that means a bit over 700. So we're kind of winning in that respect. But
how about time?
probably got some long-term forecast of what the exchange rate will be. So, but we get a nice round number, Drew, just under $700.
Yeah, so it's more than we thought it would be. It's $50 more than we realistically thought.
Yeah, we said about $650, didn't we? I was kind of assuming it would go $400, but it still works. It's not too much of a jump from that OLED at 540 or 539, so it's sizable, but not too sizable that it gets a bit like silly.
Yeah, I mean, at the time of recording this, we're literally like just after the thing finished, but there's so many questions like just regarding like the normal Switch. Will that get a price cut? Like it seems like there's a decent gap between it where you'd keep it the same for the rest of the time you're selling Switch 1. So I don't know. Like, would you? Don't know. Not talking about Switch 1 here. That's dead to us, Josh.
Correct.
Let's just go down. We got a list just from IGN.
Yes.
Let's go to Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is coming out. I actually didn't catch the date because it sort of went by and I had to like try and translate it from the American. I'm like,
17.
I thought it was September. I thought it was going to be September, but it's July. You? It's way early. It's only a month after bloody the system comes out. Oh,
yeah. It's a launch window game. It's not much of a window. It's pretty well a month and a bit after the Switch 2 launches.
Yeah,
that's going to be crazy. That's only three and a bit months away, Drew. And then we're getting Mario Kart World in about two months. Honestly, crazy.
Yeah, very exciting. Like it's we're sort of expecting June. Just like the last couple of days has been pointing towards that, but like early June as well, which is great. But yeah, what did you think of Donkey Kong? The new look of Donkey Kong. Don't know. Right now, while it's brand new, it doesn't do it for me like the Donkey Kong we've gotten used to, like from Rare, from Donkey Kong Country and all of that. But look, I'll come around to it. But looked fun. I wondered, like, is this like the Tokyo team? Is this the Mario team doing this game? Who's making this game?
It has to be. It looks so ambitious. It looks very similar to 3D Odyssey. Mm. Yeah,
like all the signs and that going on.
Yeah, I saw bananas in the background, and so I'm like, oh, is this a crossover of DK and Mario? And it just kept playing as Donkey Kong, and I'm just like, nah, this is. And I saw the Donkey Kong Country pseudo level that they did, and that looked amazing. I'm like, no,
didn't it?
This is just Donkey Kong here, and it's got the new design. It's all on him, and I didn't actually think they'd actually do this for Donkey Kong and actually just give him the spotlight just by himself. I think they've pushed Mario to the side a little here and just no, this Donkey Kong's turn now, which is really amazing. I love that idea. I've talked about it for ages that DK hasn't had enough love, and this is just been in waiting for this moment. They really like cherish this character, like just from seeing the stuff in the movie, seeing the stuff in Universal Studios Japan and all the other Universal theme parks. Donkey Kong's a huge factor. And now we're going to get a massive 3D platformer, the first time since Donkey Kong 64 in 1999. This is 26 years in the making, this sequel here. So it looks huge. It looks ambitious. A new design on a new system. This is so close to me in terms of Mario Kart World and this. These are like two huge announcements that I just this one's the more shocking and surprising one, but in such a great way. Surprising in the most happiest way, really, I reckon, possible.
Just watching the trailer, I'm trying to like keep up just with everything he's doing. Like his kit that he's able to utilize, like picking up things and smashing things,
digging and punching and
yeah, it's
moving
just
all around.
doing so much. Like to have that sort of versatility in what seems to be that, whether it's open world or whether it's open zone, doesn't really matter, I guess. But yeah, look, it looks different. I think that's the most important thing when it comes to these series.
So
that
different.
Nintendo gets criticized by its haters or whatever. That's like, oh look, just do Mario and Mario Kart and all this, but Mario Kart looks completely different, and this Donkey Kong certainly looks completely different to what we've seen. I must admit though, a little bit of me is like disappointed that we didn't see Mario, and like whether we will, I don't know, but I got to admit, it's just
another 8 years. I don't know. Like, how does this work now?
I don't know.
Is it really the same EPD studio doing it? I just don't know anymore. Like like it can't be. I don't know. Like surely these both get so big that they have to be a bit more frequent between each other. But yeah, I don't know. How many 3D Mario platforms? How many 3D platformers do they want on the system in one go? I don't know.
It's funny, like it's been that long since Odyssey. Like that team could have made this, and they could have like had the Mario game ready to go now too. Like it's been literally that long. So who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, we'll obviously find out closer. But yeah, I think it's a great, cool surprise, nonetheless. And yeah, I love that DK's finally getting his time to shine.
Yeah, no. Obviously, you're going to be very excited to play it, and it's something very different. IGN's got it listed pretty early in the list, but we'll talk about like what ended the show. We got Kirby Air Riders,
what the
Masahiro
hell?
Sakurai.
What the hell?
Which is wicked. Like very cool. My first thing was like, like Nintendo, they didn't have that many Switch 2 games here really, like from them. Like not including the Zelda game from Koei Tecmo and all of that. But I'm like, so like one of their games is like another racing game, which like Mario Kart was like the main one.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit like,
That was my immediate thought, because then the Kirby Star got the propulsion, and then I'm like, oh, is this Air Ride?
There it is.
Air Ride.
There it is.
And then I'm like, whoa, like this year as well, of all years, when theoretically the best ever selling racing game is launching, you're going to do another side spin-off for Kirby, but racing. I'm very, if it's later in the year and a few months after Mario Kart World, then sure, why not? But like, yeah, I still feel that's way too close. And I'd be very interested to see, what they can do to really, make this accessible and really appealing to not just Nintendo fans like us, but a really broader audience to make this sell.
Yeah. So there's definitely that side of me, but when it's like, directed Sakurai's coming back,
That's great.
I'm like, well, I've got no worries whatsoever. That man has made some incredible games, Super Smash Brothers, Kid Icarus, and of course returning to Kirby, which is pretty exciting. He hasn't made a Kirby game in a long time.
Very cool.
So
that was a great surprise.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how the game turns out.
Yeah.
Because I never really played much of the GameCube one, did you? Is that a game you had in your childhood type of thing?
Never played it.
No?
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't really either.
I watched videos online and that's literally it.
Yeah, because you can imagine just what Sakurai, the magic he brings to his games, the attention to detail. So looking forward to what's going on. This, we got the welcome, what's it called? Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. It's just straight off the bat, it's a paid digital title. You got to be fucking kidding me, Nintendo. You're charging us for
free.
this?
They were explaining, I thought, oh, this is a free title. And then
Are you
it's
kidding
paid.
me?
I'm like, oh, okay, really?
Are you kidding me? It's like a virtual sort of museum, and you like it
kind of explanation of the concept.
and it shows aspects. And you can do like tech demos, like showing the rumble, showing the mouse controls, like all. It's like kind of interesting sort of little things that I would sort of enjoy, especially like with a new piece of kit that does different things like this, like the Switch does. But are they that really much of a tight ass not to just like have this loaded up onto the Switch 2 when we get it out the box? It's like, you got to be joking me.
I'm a little surprised. I really thought this would be like, the Astrobot of the PlayStation 5 or, Astro's Playroom. This is just, a little tech demo thing, a fun thing that they made to showcase it. You play it at your own pace and you can discover some things about the Switch 2. But, unless it's very cheap, I'm Yeah, the fact
Yeah.
you got to pay for it, I think's a little rich
Yeah, like if PlayStation can include Astrobot,
for free.
you can include this, surely. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. When it comes to like Nintendo, sometimes they're so precious with their software. Even this is like designed for somebody who's like, oh yeah, I want the Switch to play Animal Crossing, but then they just see this on their menu and go, oh yeah. Then you sort of learn a bit about what's inside the Switch and maybe sort of appreciate it a little bit more. And that's kind of all this is. Like, it's not like, oh look, I'm going to go back and play the mouse UFO game, where I'm using the mouse to dodge the meteors, and it's like, I don't know. When I saw that, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. But yeah, depending on the price, when it comes to launch, we got that hype. Maybe I doubt it though. I want to jump into Mario Kart. I don't want to play this if they're going to charge me for it.
Like you experience it one and done, and then you kind of never really going to look at it again.
Yeah.
I would have thought,
Yeah, so that was disappointing. It reminds me of like on the PlayStation Vita, it came packaged with an app called Welcome Tour. Welcome Park.
Oh, okay.
And it was like it's a similar little thing. It really reminds me of that. That was free.
Yeah. As it should have been.
I kind of expected this, just as far as like the SD cards go, but we were restricted to what they called express cards, so much faster cards. Yep. I kind of expected that just due to like the hope that the Switch 2 would utilize like SSD speeds, because that'd be a major improvement. Just even if the Switch 1 just had like an SSD put into it, it would be a major just improvement to loading times and all of that.
Yep.
So the idea that most of your games are going to be on SD cards, it's like, well, it kind of negates that. So their way around it is that they force you to use express cards that I haven't looked into the prices, but they'll be much more expensive and you won't be able to get as big a card as well. So that'd be
straight away anyway.
Yeah, that's right. It took a long time to get terabyte SD cards.
It did. It wasn't straight away, was it?
Yeah. So I bought I went in increments. I think I had like a 250 gig card, then I got a 500 gig card, and then eventually when they came out at a better price, I got the terabyte card. So yeah, and the physical games, there'd be red cartridges. No little notch like the 3DS games had, so you couldn't wedge them in your DS. But I really think that's pretty neat, Josh. Red cartridges.
Yeah. You've got to distinguish them between the Switch 1 and now the Switch 2.
There'll be cherry flavour instead of acid flavour.
I can't wait to lick them and imagine they're really nice and tasty, or in fact they're still just as bitter as ever.
Delicious.
So good.
One of the most exciting things, GameCube is coming to Nintendo Switch 2, Switch NSO, Nintendo Switch 2 NSO, I don't know what to call it, just NSO. But
I brought it, Drew. I wore my t-shirt. I'm ready. It's happening. GameCube games are coming to Switch 2. And lo and behold, they listened. Nintendo listened.
It's exciting, and I'm so excited that they're actually releasing a controller for it. Yeah. I am all over that controller. There's no way we're going to get one on launch. There's no way.
No, we'll get one. We'll be fanatical enough. I don't know. But yeah, we get our Wavebird, our purple Wavebird with a new C for group chat button on top.
It's not even a Wavebird. It doesn't have that big dong,
it's a wireless GameCube controller. It's effectively a Wavebird, Drew.
Yeah, I'm just saying it doesn't have that big. It's got a thigh gap. It's not like all plugged in, But yeah, I can't wait for this, dude. It's going to be great.
Announcement. Yeah. And day 1, 5th of June as well. We're going to get a few games at least. Wind Waker, F-Zero GX, and then Soul Calibur 2.
Yeah, Soul Calibur 2, dude. That is a massive one, like a big third-party one where Soul Calibur 2 was like
had Link
on GameCube was the place to get it. The player's Link.
Yeah.
So yeah, a really good
Never
get.
played
and
it, so I'll get to check it out. That'd be great.
Yeah, me too. And I can't wait to wait 6 months for them to bring something else out.
I mean, if they're the only 3 games, well, I mean, what else was coming? We had Pokemon XD teased, Chibi Robo.
It showed the Pokemon games. I'm like, really?
Yeah, Pokemon games.
They are so fucking stubborn not to bring it to the Game Boy Advance. I can't believe it.
Yeah, they'll do the 3D pseudo mainline games, and then that's
somebody slapped Pokemon Company in the back of the head.
But like Chibi Robo, that's so hard to play in like access because it's so expensive if you want to play it on original hardware. So
Nintendo's going to charge you market price for that one. It's going to be like Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass is now $200 a year, just because we're including rare games. with the manual. Like,
I mean, yeah. I'm just a little surprised we didn't get Metroid Prime 2 Echoes announced here.
oh yeah, that would have been a shoo-in actually. Now I
And
think
it
about
wasn't
it, yeah, you're right.
I was expecting it in the scissor reel at the end for showing the upcoming GameCube releases, and it wasn't there.
Yeah, missed opportunity actually. Yeah,
I don't know. There's something still off for me with Metroid. It's still no release date. Nothing with Metroid Prime 2 or 3. It's like there's more to come. That's all I'm thinking.
I think just as far as you just said the word or the sentence "more to come," I think there's actually a lot more to come. There's a lot of this year that isn't filled in, like from what I understand. Like,
No.
I think they're waiting for like a second punch. They're like, all right, get like Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, all of this. But I think they're sort of leaving.
They only dated the two big ones, Mario Kart World and DK Bonanza, and that was it for first party stuff. That was it.
So like they're leaving a gap open for November games and all of that at the end. So they might still have a second beat, like more traditional Nintendo Direct time. I don't know.
I just love this is the way we get Wind Waker. Like after all that speculation of the HD Wii U version coming, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we'll want to actually. You're right.
Is this correct? Stay tuned. We'll be live with Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders in 90 minutes from EB Games.
Are you fucking serious?
And that was 5 minutes ago. Are we podcast for another 90 minutes to then pre-order? No.
Are you kidding me?
Is that real? No, that can't. This has to be a parody account. No, it's a real one. Man, I'm gonna.
Hey, I just want to say, I was saying, pay attention to EB Games. And Zach in our Discord's like, oh, I don't fucking think so. Fucking wake up, dude. Wake up.
Shit.
Assuming you went to bed.
I'm sending you the link now. See if you can verify this. This looks legit.
Am I verifying it?
We're live with Nintendo. They're gonna do it in the middle of the night.
Fuck it. Well,
that's great for us.
That's beautiful. Because I gotta say, I gotta say, it worked out. Like the PS5 was so hard to get, and I literally just went onto EB Games and pre-ordered it because no one knew about it. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Is this real? I'm gonna share it in our Discord, but like, man,
that's crazy, dude. That is absolutely nuts. Well, I feel bad if I'm gonna post this in the morning and like people just listen to this and they get to this. It's like, wait, they went up for pre-order.
Is this the right one? It is.
Yeah, no, it's it. It's going live
in
90 minutes. All right.
Well, at 2:50 in the morning, 3:20 in the Eastern States, AM.
Yeah, so that just went up. Was an hour and a half away.
It went up 6 minutes.
Man. Is that 3 o'clock in the morning here?
2:50. You gonna stay up? You have to.
Oh, I'm not going to bed and just missing out on the Switch too, dude.
Oh no!
Fuck!
Oh,
like I knew I was going to have a late night.
Is this the? I mean, I get
it is what it is.
I get it, but also at the same time, that's also a little like, yeah.
It is what it is, Josh.
Yeah. I want it day one, man. I'm not waiting.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. We're up.
Yeah,
we're up and pre-ordering this bad boy.
We're going to podcast for another hour anyway, so by the time we finish up, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We're not going to guess, yeah.
Nintendo PR sent an email as well.
Nice. So, yeah, no, we're doing this on the fly, everyone. I just wanted to...
listening to us, live.
Yeah,
it's a live reaction.
That's the thing.
Pseudo podcast at the same time.
I just want to jump straight into it and just, like, get our raw emotions off. Because, like I've said for the last few weeks, you know, we don't get this very often anymore. And we won't get it for at least like another 5 or 8 years, assuming.
Yeah, that's right.
No matter how delirious we are and maybe how not very good we're speaking not good.
If you want it bundled with Mario Kart World, it's going to be $769.95, so $770. So effectively, it's a $70 game bundled.
So how much is it?
More individually.
How much are the games individually? I wonder.
Yeah. So if you buy
these
Switch
questions
2,
might be answered by the time people listen to this, but
if you buy Switch 2, you get the console, you get the Joy 2 controllers left and right, You get a Joy-Con 2 grip. You get the straps. You get the dock, an ultra-high-speed HDMI cable, an AC adapter, and then the USB-C charging cable. So a pretty standard set of things you get. It's effectively the same as what Switch 1 had, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then obviously the camera's separate. So I think the pre-orders for that might come up in a couple of minutes or an hour and a half as well. Man, I want all of it.
Camera?
I'm going to get a camera.
I don't know if I want the camera really, but I might. I don't know.
I'll get the camera. I'm going to get a Pro controller. I'm going to get the GameCube. Oh man, I'm going to spend like over $1,000 easily.
Well, yeah. I mean, the
I'm
thing's
ready,
$700, so we don't do much more than that. You got a couple of games and you're done. Yeah.
Australia Nintendo registrations for Switch 2 will be available from My Nintendo store on the 9th of April, which is in a few days.
To pre-order it from them.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, even if you fuck up, I want one from EB Games because that's the place I can actually
Same.
drive and pick it up from, rather than wait for to be shipped, which might take a little while. All right, we've got to get our pre-order in check. Did you put into the Discord just in case somebody's up?
I've sent it to my Discord. I haven't done House of Mario. I can leave that to you if you want.
Yeah, do the House of Mario. That'll be. Zach put it in there. I am sorry, Drew. You were right. Don't sleep.
Uh-huh.
That's right. That's right, Zach. Don't sleep on it.
Well, who needs sleep anyway?
Me. But it is what it is. Kids go to childcare tomorrow. I've got energy drink in the fridge. I knew what type of time.
We're the adrenaline's pumping, Drew. The excitement's there. This direct was great and showcased a lot of cool things. A lot of third party support as well. These third parties have been waiting at the bit just to be part of this thing.
Yeah, we got some amazing stuff to go through. I will say though, no Microsoft, no Xbox games.
Yeah, I was expecting the Xbox, and then it just didn't come. So very confused by that.
I might surely like a Hi-Fi Rush or just
Master
even something
Chief
like that.
Collection, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was not the time.
Great. That would have been a great first one to do. So, I mean, they don't own the studio. How does that work? They don't own the...
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Someone else owns it, I think.
Yeah, they sold the studio and...
I think they retained the rights to the game, didn't they? The studio.
Yeah, I think they're making a second one.
Yeah.
But as far as the rights for
the
first game, they probably don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Forza Horizon or something like that would have been pretty sick. But maybe another day. It'll happen eventually, like on Switch 2. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, correct.
So yeah, GameCube games. We know Pokemon's coming and like Strikers. Remember seeing that Chibi Robo. We got a decent amount of games coming, which was great. This one made me pop, Josh. Maybe not so much you, I'm not sure, but Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment is a Musou style game that's a prequel to The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, and I was like, I popped off for this, dude. I'm all about
Miguel
these.
was the same. She was very, very excited for this one.
These Musou games and like just the story of Tears of the Kingdom's so sick, and being like a part of like the war that you don't really see is very exciting. So
that's great.
Stoked for this. Did it say 2025?
It's coming in winter.
Winter,
which means summer for us.
Yeah, so towards the end of the year,
I believe.
That could be like that could be the holiday game, I guess, when we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
I guess technically.
I would have thought there'd be some other bigger stuff at the same time.
Yeah, I would too.
For that, I don't know if that's a big enough first year title to stem off a summer period or holiday period.
No, I wouldn't either. But they've done it before. They did it with Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. That was 2020, where
I felt that was
it was COVID,
a weird time, to do it. An extraordinary, unprecedented time. You know what they say.
Yeah. This is probably one of the biggest announcements, but for you and I, not so much. We're not From Software fans, but Duskbloods is a From Software game coming exclusively to Nintendo Switch in 2026. And that is crazy. Nintendo's getting an exclusive FromSoft game at the peak of their careers after Elden Ring. Let alone Elden Ring is coming to Switch too, but a brand new exclusive game is just, it's kind of crazy. When From Software popped up, I'm like, surely it's not like a brand new game, like exclusive to them, and it was. So, not much excitement from me, just because I'm looking at the game. I don't really know what's going on, and I'm not into these super hard Souls-like games. But there is, I assume, a section of the audience just going nuts right now online.
Oh, for sure.
Just going absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I kept looking at it. Is this Castlevania? Like, I was just really like going all over the place. Like, this is castle themed. There's vampires here, and then I saw a few of the wackier like dinosaurs appearing and like a jetpack going on. Thought maybe not, and steam trains and the like. But yeah, like they gave it a lot of time. Yeah, From Software. Yeah, with Elden Ring, so it's pretty huge coup to get that kind of exclusive third-party game on the Switch 2, or at least temporarily timed exclusive at least. I'm the same as you. I don't know if I'm really one of those suckers for punishment like that when it comes to these Souls-like games. So probably need to see more info to see if I'm really gonna get it, I suppose.
Yeah. Do you see like your since you do like Nintendvania and the House of Mario, do you see yourself being like, oh look, this is an exclusive, so maybe I should pick it up? Like, do you reckon you'll guilt yourself into giving it a go, or you reckon you'll just stick true to...
I need to see more. I mean, yeah, I definitely do it for Nintendo Pure. But yeah, beyond that, I've been a bit more, selective. So it would depend.
Yeah, I've been meaning to give Elden Ring a go, but it's just, when I get I've said that a million times, but when I get my time to game, I don't want to like be smacking my head against the wall trying to beat this boss at 12 o'clock at night when I've just had a stressful day as it was. Like, I don't know, like I love the idea on paper, like a game where you explore and you really earn your place in the world and you understand the mechanics and everything like that. And you get better and better as you learn and progress just through your own gameplay. Love the sound of that. That sounds wicked. But yeah, it's not where I am right now. Just, being a father of small kids. It's not really what I'm after. But
don't need it.
In saying that, maybe I'd give it a real crack and I'd just fall in love with it as well. So maybe I should get on the train a little bit. But yeah. Yeah. We got some more, I guess, Switch 2 editions. We've got Kirby and the Forgotten Land. We've got like a new expansion on top of that as well, the Star-Crossed World. So I quite like this, that we're getting extra content for some games as well, which I quite like. Depends how much these cost. Like we got like a handful of them. We got we've got the Mario Party. We got Pokemon Legends ZA. That would be getting one as well. But for some of these games, it just depends how much it will cost. Like I don't really need to go back to the Forgotten Land necessarily. I really enjoyed it and I played through it, but as far as like, depends what the extra content is, I guess. Like if it's like a meaty sort of experience and it's sort of lines up with what they're charging, that'd be quite nice. But what do you think about these other Switch 2 enhanced games?
I think it's a cool idea. I think I talked about on the show, like anything that shows off the more nuanced Switch 2 controls, like the mouse. Which I think is what they're doing with Super Mario Party Jamboree. It's what they're doing with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. That's perfect and great. And then at the basic minimum, better visuals and frames for like stuff like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. So, you're keen to see what this brings. They've done a whole extra section for Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which was such a great game, and now there's more DLC for it. So, just a great way to sort of bridge the gap a bit more. And this will be the new Wii U port for the Switch 2 here. This will be the enhanced games, some smaller things just to sort of fill in the gaps between the bigger Switch 2 exclusives.
Yeah, I just wonder though, like so many people didn't play a Wii U, but now like so many people have played like these games on Switch. So will it have the same effect? Like if they just have a month like, oh, this month's game is Mario Odyssey enhanced for Switch 2. It's like, oh, well, sorry. No, that doesn't count. It's
Yeah.
like I sort of wonder how they'll like treat it. Like they treat it like it's a third pillar. Like you can play Switch 2 games, you can play Switch games, and you can play Switch 2 enhanced games. So they put like a lot of emphasis on it.
Yeah, that's right. There is a lot of emphasis, isn't there? So, yeah, there will be a lot more to come. I've just seen the cover art for what the Switch 2 cases will look like. Do you want to see?
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Where are you getting this stuff, by the way? Are you
I'm
just
on
on Twitter?
I'm just doing Twitter as we're talking.
Oh, interesting. Oh, it's a red box.
So
oh,
the red
dude, I like
box.
that.
So it's a lot. It takes up a lot of the top, doesn't
I
it?
don't know if I like that big strip across the top.
I don't know if I like it either. I think I loved how simple the Switch was because it was just in the corner there, wasn't it? And that was it.
Yeah, it looks like it takes up way too much.
Yeah, because look at this. This is the Switch version of Metroid Prime 4. And then all the stuff at the bottom.
Oh my god, how much shit they have at the bottom on that one.
It's so much worse, isn't it? Yeah, it's a big downgrade
Yeah.
in that regard. I think that's so clean. That's so great. If there was a way to do it on the other side, maybe, I don't know, or invert the colors. Big strip at the top. Not a fan. That's all right.
Yeah, what are their design language team doing?
What are you
The
doing?
graphic designers, I don't know.
I got a couple more, sorry. Do you want to see Donkey Kong Bonanza?
Oh, show them all to me, Josh.
Show 'em all.
And if you're watching, this is a video somewhere.
Yes. Yeah, watch it on YouTube. That's a cool cover of Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
That's pretty sick. And here's Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch 2 edition. With
Please
all the
tell me they don't
wonderful-
have all that shit at the bottom. Please
Yeah.
tell me they don't have all that.
Why can't that just be like shrink wrap over the top or something? And once you remove it, it could be, yeah, why does it have to be there permanently?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh well.
Yep.
That's the thing. Maybe if I really don't like the look of the boxes, I won't go physical. I won't bother.
But with the upgrades, Legends ZA, that was a huge surprise for me. I really wasn't expecting Pokemon Company, Game Freak to do that. And the upgrade looks really good. Like, from my first initial look at it, I thought the models of the Pokemon were great. So,
Oh, really? I didn't really know as much difference, to be honest. But
okay.
I need to go back and have a look.
I reckon side by side, it'll show a really good difference. Which they should have. I suppose they don't want to, compare it straight away to a game that hasn't sold or been released on the Switch 1 to begin with. So,
Yeah, it's just a little bit hard because, like, when I saw the enhanced games, even the Zelda games, I was sort of looking at them and like, I can't really see it, but I'm also not. It's not 4K on my TV. It's just like a stream that 1 million people are watching, and it's at 1080p, and I'm not watching on a 4K monitor or anything like that either. So, it's just when I play it is when you can sort of judge that.
Yeah. Don't know. I'm hearing a lot of new stuff. Apparently, the Switch 2 is region locked.
Oh, what really?
So reading this on Twitter, Nintendo
Why
Switch 2
would they do that?
is region locked to Japan accounts in Japan because 49,980 yen is equivalent to $334 US. So it's the exchange rate. The exchange rate's so poor that, if they made it not region locked, anyone would just buy it straight away. This might be wrong, but this is just
So the actual
stuff coming
software is
out
not
new.
region locked. Is that what you're saying? Like, you just, like, if I get a cart and I put it in, like, an American cart and put it in my Australian Switch, it will still work?
I think so. I think it's the actual, like, you have to have a Japanese account.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. No, that's not as bad as I thought.
Not
I thought
as
it meant,
bad.
like, region locking the software. I'm like, oh my god, don't do that again. Not that it really matters that much, but sometimes I was like,
Maybe it's
if
the
you're a physical
hardware,
collector and you want to get a physical game and it's not in Australia, sometimes you just get an American copy or a world copy or an Asian copy and go from there. But that was the thing. It was so annoying on 3DS with the region locking and Wii U.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
But I can, exchange rates are pretty messy at the moment.
Yeah, man. I'm just so taken back for the pre-orders are up soon. So, all right, shit, we're doing it. We're doing it.
We got another hour or so to.
Do you? You must. I do appreciate that it's at an ungodly time here in Australia, though. Like that is.
It helps
kind of-
us, you know.
it helps
We're going to
us.
laugh at it now in years to come because we'll get one probably straight away. So many people went to bed, or didn't, or waiting to watch this in the morning. And
Have you checked JB Hi-Fi or any other sort of retailers? Because Nintendo themselves here aren't doing it.
Yeah, and not straight away. It's a few days later on their store.
Yeah. Which is going to be a bloodbath for everybody that wakes up and doesn't get one.
Yeah. I don't think the people at JB are awake right now. They're rightfully in bed.
Oh, I'm seeing on Century Leaks that Nintendo Switch 2 games would be more expensive physically than digitally.
Really?
Mario Kart Tour will be 90 freaking euros physically. That's what Century Leaks posted. Yeah, it's got a thing basically showing that digital is going to be 80 euros. Then it's going to and also 90 euros for the physical copy.
Is this finally the time where they just say it's just buy this game through our store? Don't bother. It's just going to be cheaper for you.
Yeah, no, they're pushing it. Like it's if you want to go physical, you're like it looks like a bit of a dinosaur maybe.
I've seen a bit of an updated UI for Switch 2 here. Do you want to see this?
I mean, you're getting all the good stuff, dude. I'm just going through my Twitter and I'm seeing people go, "Oh my god, that was pretty good."
Following the Nintendo deal, I think you can see it to the left here, Drew. A few more icons and different symbols.
Yep, looks like a Switch
it's effectively
menu, right?
the same thing.
Yep.
This also shows Xenoblade Chronicles X as probably one of the Switch 2 upgrade games coming up, which makes sense with the coding. We saw the 60 frames mentioned in that.
So what do those icons look like? Anything interesting hidden in there, you reckon?
It's got the C button there, so that's be the chat. That's the eShop button there. I don't know what that is. It's a green, some sort of icon. Maybe I can zoom in a bit. No, it's not really working. That's photos, a gallery. That's your Joy-Con controller settings. Something with the game card there. There's a few extra icons at the bottom here.
Yep. Cool.
So yeah,
nothing too exciting. I don't see any like achievement little icon or anything fun like that.
Extraordinarily different.
Cool.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Well, I'm just full of emotions.
What do you think of Silk Song? I thought that was the funniest thing. How they just mentioned it in a scissor reel for 5 seconds.
They put it in there and they still said 2025.
2025. I laughed out loud. I just thought, of course that's the way they show the game still alive.
I was really hoping they were going to like show it next because before that they showed off Deltarune episode 3 and 4 and that community has been waiting for that.
It's been a long time.
For years. So if they were able to like put those together with sort of a release date or whatever, just for both of them right there together, that would have been really phenomenal for just like those specific communities, which have been pretty cool. But yeah, no, a bit of a tease, but confirmed still. They're still sticking to this year, so see what they do. Just going through this other bits like there's the camera, which we talked about, but it's got a microphone on the actual Switch, which is interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Not just at the start when they were doing voice chat and they were talking, like, and their Switch was just running their TV. I'm like, no, we're not. We're not doing that. More importantly, I'm not listening to that. I'm not listening to Josh, like, across the room talking into his Switch, like 10 meters away on the couch. You know what I mean? I'm not.
The tech works.
I'm not doing that.
The technology works, Drew. Apparently, it's very clear.
Yeah, that's what PlayStation said. It was right on the controller, and there was, I forgot what the game was called, but it was like a combat racer game, and all I could hear was the clanking and the clicking of the buttons and like the rumbling triggers, the haptic feedback and the triggers. All I can hear was like that into the microphone because it was just a part of the controller. I'm like, oh, it was awful. Just get a headset. Everybody get a headset, please. If you're going to talk to your friends, don't put them through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a list of Switch games that will receive free updates to Switch 2 to improve playability. So ARMS, Captain Toad, Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, Clubhouse games, as we saw. That's massive
right.
for that game. There's so many
That's right,
games that
yeah.
were denied you playing multiplayer because you could see the same screen, but now that it's going to be on different screens, that like opens up a few of those extra games.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening, Echoes of Wisdom, Game Builder Garage, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Pokemon Scarlet Violet.
That'd be
and then
fascinating.
Big Brain Academy. Wow, Pokemon joining in.
Pokemon.
Drew, what's going on? What is going on?
Yeah. First game we like load up Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and it's just like you're running around. I'm like, I don't feel sick. Crazy. Next gen Nintendo. This is nuts.
It's going to be amazing. You're going to get a... What do you think of the Pro Controller?
It looks like a Pro Controller, didn't it? Had a headphone jack.
A little bit different, but not too much, eh? Extra button.
I'll bring it up. Like remember the coloring was all right, but nothing special? I don't know.
Predominantly
it had
black,
like white
and
on
it's
the
got
top.
the white greyish kind of bumpers and back.
Yeah. And I would be like, oh, look, they'll bring out a new color. Don't worry about it. But they won't. They never did. They brought out like special editions, just with like a
colours,
decal
but
slapped on it.
Editions, yeah, and then the handle bit would change color, and that would be literally about it. Yes. Yeah, there are no extra colors with the Joy-Con 2, so we just get the black, don't we? With the
and that's fine.
inside colours.
I love the look of those Joy-Cons. I love the bit of color on the insides as well.
That was always going to be the one I wanted. So launch games, we're getting Mario Kart World, obviously. We're getting the Switch 2 Welcome Tour. We're getting Split Fiction.
I said that, yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy, Hitman World of Assassination, Bravely Default, Flying Fairy. We're getting GameCube via NSO, Deltarune 1+2+3, and then Cyberpunk 2077.
Interesting.
So there's a good range there. And then Nintendo's done enough with World, obviously being the big one. And then they got the Welcome Tour, but also GameCube just for extra, some other things to play.
Still very small though, isn't it? Like you would have thought like even like a FIFA would have fit in there. I know it's a weird time of year for FIFA to try and match it up because they'll have one in another 2 or 3 months. But yeah, don't know. I was expecting a bit bigger, but
not announced. Might be some indies.
Yeah, we've got to wait a little while just to get a bit more of a full picture. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like Capcom that they rocked up in the direct and they pushed Street Fighter 6. Didn't even think about Street Fighter 6, but yeah, no Monster Hunter Wilds announced on there. And even more surprising, they announced Amiibo for Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
I'm like,
there's Amiibo for the Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, I missed that.
Age of Imprisonment game.
Oh, I missed that.
Yes.
Huh.
So
Cool.
we're getting four more Amiibos as well.
What Age of Imprisonment Amiibo were they releasing?
So we're getting. Let me get the link. Sorry, that's one of the things I didn't mention.
No, you're right.
Yeah, so all from Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. We're getting Amiibo figures, Tulin, Yunobo, Riju, and Sidon.
Oh, cool. I like it.
And then Minero's Construct is coming soon as an Amiibo, which would be pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, I like that Amiibo lives. Like it just seemed like it was dead, but I mean, they'll make some every like it's just for Street Fighter to get them. That's awesome, but that's always like they get 3 for a third-party multi-platform game. That's pretty cool.
Yep. So here they are here if you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah, nice.
And then they tease the Minero one coming soon.
Oh, well, it's going to be a big one.
We're going to be a big boy.
Mineru's construct, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sort of... It's a shame that I'm sort of hit by that bad news. Maybe it's just in Europe, but yeah, that the physical games cost more. How do you feel as a physical game man? You've been physical for Switch the whole time. If you are paying just say $10 more for a physical copy, or even $20 or $15 more. How will that affect your sort of buying habits? Will you still go and get the physical copy and maybe buy less games overall, or what are you sort of thinking?
I mean, I think the $10 is fair enough. With cost pressures and increases these days, it's just is what it is. So that's fine. So I'm obviously going to compare it though against what the digital version of a game is, and see if there's, especially with the virtual game card, there's, less reason for me to pick physical now, because a big thing and benefit of the physical obviously was I could on-sell it if I wanted to. Not that I really did, but I've done it once or twice with some of the games I picked up and didn't really like. But the idea is, one day I could sell my collection and it would get something instead of a digital collection, which is harder to do. So I would be interested to see, and if it's a deliberately, because at the moment and how it works here in Australia, it's the recommended retail is $80, and you see that on the eShop, but they don't really sell the games for $80 here in Australia. They're pretty much selling it for $69, and so they're doing that little bit of a discount. So it's also what the retailers decide to do, which we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's right. It might still work out. Like by the time you go and get a sale, and you probably won't get vouchers on Switch 2 either for the brand new games. So it might still work out. That's the thing, because I was really thinking about going physical again, purely because like a lot of the games I will be playing on Switch 2 are going to be like exclusive games. And I'm probably at the point for the most part, Mario Kart's a little bit different, but when I'm playing Donkey Kong, I'll play Donkey Kong, and I'll be finished Donkey Kong, I'll take it out and put it on the shelf. And I'll be pretty much done with it for the most part.
Yeah.
That's where I'm finding with like, I've got all my Switch games downloaded, but like I don't necessarily need them all the time. I sort of thought, and that's changed, because it was always good, just like digital, especially like I've got the game on the Switch. I'm going somewhere, take it out the dock, put it in the case in the backpack, and I'm on the go. But these days with like I'm playing games across a couple more platforms when Switch just came out. So things have just changed a little bit. But yeah, we'll see how the sort of pricing affects us. Because maybe it's just Europe. Maybe they're putting all that tariff money that way.
Maybe, yeah. Drag Drive. What did you think of that? We haven't talked about that one yet.
Yeah, that was a really clever use of the new controls. I thought that was really interesting. And it's kind of a way of controlling a game that you can't really do anywhere else, even on a computer with the mouse cursor. Like, you're using the mouse functionality to like push your wheels on the wheelchair. And then when you lift it up, it like controls your arms, and you're able to throw the ball and make shots and all of that. I thought it was a really clever idea. I'm definitely interested in that. It's just like, what is the game? So like, for example, like you compare it to something like Rocket League or any other sports games. Do you have sort of a few modes? Do you have skins that you can collect? Is it paid? Is it free to play? There's lots of sort of questions I have, like the longevity or something like that. But as like a showcase, I thought it was like pretty clever.
And just cool from an accessibility point of view, to have like effectively is wheelchair basketball sort of promoted in that way, and had have a game sort of centered around it. So this is Nintendo's new IP. We got ARMS and 1-2 Switch last time, and then we've had this outside of the tour game that they got as well. So a little bit smaller, reminded me a little bit of Rocket League. But yeah, like you said, using the rails or the mouse controls, just a different way to showcase that. So obviously a very Nintendo thing for them to do with the controls and showcasing it in that way.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember. Was that a Nintendo-made game?
But they're publishing it.
They're publishing it, yeah.
So yes.
Yep. I've got to charge my phone. My phone's almost flat, and when we were doing this, my internet's going to go to shit when we upload. So I've got to make sure my phone's ready to go, so I can use my phone internet to get the pre-order.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got to be ready. So some of the other third-party stuff. There was a new James Bond game they teased.
Oh yeah, I was getting pretty excited about that. Like IO Interactive, they announced a long time ago, like, hey, look, we're making a James Bond game. Everyone's like, what a perfect fit! What a beautiful and amazing fit. You know, the team that did Hitman, it was all about, you know, being a spy, but actually taking like the iconic James Bond license and making a game out of that. And I was like, are you going to like announce, like, you're going to show that here? That is crazy. But no, they didn't. I'm like, please show more than just the barrel. You're not going to just do a tease, are you? And they just did the barrel, which is fine.
That's fine. More to come. Probably be a while away, I would have thought. Hades 2, that was pretty big. Obviously early access for PC, but teased here for 2025, I think. Is that what it said? I can't remember now.
I can't remember now either, but yeah.
Maybe it didn't.
First sort of announcement of like a console release. PlayStation or Xbox haven't got the sort of the word go. I dare say they will, but yeah, Hades 1 was a Switch console exclusive for a long time.
Yep.
So yeah, makes sense that it will show up here.
Yeah.
Big part of that game's success.
Yeah, 100%. That would be a big seller on Switch 2 as well. We got a new Demon X Machina, Titanic Scion. I kind of, with the Gundams, kind of flew under my nose a little halfway through, and then like, oh yeah, is this Demon X Machina? And it was. So, is this published by Nintendo in the past?
Yeah,
Marvelous?
the first one was, and then Marvelous, they published it on PC. It just like it came out just like pretty randomly on Steam.
Yeah.
Because this was a game, it came out in a really busy year, and I had to let it go. But I played the demo of Demon X Machina, and I really actually quite enjoyed it. But I had so much to play and buy.
Just felt by the
that was a game I'm like, no, I can't.
It just
definitely can't.
It just happens that way sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it was like when we it's when I basically started the House of Mario, so I'm like, I'm going to cover everything, and for the most part, I could keep up, but I think it was like Luigi's Mansion and stuff coming out at the same time. I'm like, no, I can't.
It's too much.
Can't do it.
Yep. EA came out with a lot of sports titles. We're getting Sports FC, which is their soccer football game, and then Madden, which I don't know when was the last time a Madden game was on a Nintendo console. GameCube? They would have had GameCube Madden.
Surely there was one on the Wii? I got no idea.
Maybe.
I got no idea.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time for sure. So, they're great. They're showing that support early, straight away in the Switch 2's life. We got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. That's coming out this winter for us, I think.
Yeah, the game looked great on Switch 2 as well.
Looked really good. Borderlands 4, sometime, whenever. Yakuza 0, that's coming out launch day, I think. Director's Cut. I think I missed that as one of the launch titles.
Oh, yeah, it did say that, yeah.
Yes, pretty sure on that.
That's the series I've been meaning to get to forever. Yeah. Maybe I should make it.
Yes.
Make it then. I don't know.
Might be an easier time now. 2K's got their WWE and NBA games coming. WWE's like, ever since it's come to Netflix, like Michaela and I have gotten into it a little bit more. We've got some good friends who are really into it. I know Zach in our Discord purchased it on PS5 the other day. So, you know, this is one of those building sport games, WWE with 2K. So that will be pretty popular, I imagine, as well. Enter the Gungeon 2. I haven't played the first one. Have you played this at all?
Did I enter the Gungeon? Yeah, I think I did. Yeah. This was a part of... I was watching it on YouTube, and the direct froze, but I could still hear the audio, and it was on Nintendo's end. And I think I remember them saying Enter the Gungeon 2, but I never actually saw the game, so I can't comment too much on it. But I think I did Enter the Gungeon. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was a very early Switch game. I quite enjoyed it. I didn't get right into it, but I played it and enjoyed it. Roguelike twin stick shooter. It's pretty fun.
Yep. We mentioned Final Fantasy VII remake, Fortnite Day 1. That doesn't surprise me. Star Wars Outlaws. That makes a lot of sense, bringing that to Switch 2. Professor Layton and the New World of Steam. That's coming later this year. Human Fall Flat 2. That was shown briefly. And Silk Song, obviously. It's a pretty healthy list of third-party support. Like, not straight away, but the stuff's upcoming. That's a really good mix of some older stuff, some new titles, obviously with the Dusk Bloods as well. It's just going to have a lot of support. And then we're going to get stuff from Xbox later because they've talked about it, including Call of Duty. So
that's right.
Big stuff to come still.
Yeah, it's just like a wait and see approach. I think for me, the Direct itself, I did expect a little bit more from both first party and third party. But overall, like, you know, when it comes to launch, I'm going to be playing that Mario Kart game so much. Like I mentioned this on a previous podcast, but like if I just get the Switch 2 for that Mario Kart game, it's worth it. It's worth it. That
yep. That's all we really want straight away. That's the only thing.
They made what I would have suggested to them if, like, Drew, we think your opinion matters. So write on this piece of paper what you would like. I'm like, oh, do an open world game where you can like do races and challenges amongst and stuff. That'd be pretty cool.
Pretty bloody good.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you did that. Well, cool. I'll buy it. Nice, easy.
Yeah,
but yeah, you go, sorry.
They just didn't need to show so much of their first party stuff because we were talking about the Switch 1 January Direct in early 2017, and the third party support was pretty small in that. And you had a few, I think someone from EA talked about their support, some from Sega, and then I think the guy from Suda51, the crazy one, he talked briefly about Travis Strikes Again. There wasn't a lot of actual gameplay trailer stuff being shown.
Yeah.
It was
I mean, that's a completely different place that company was in, though. It's just
correct. And that's my point, though. Now they're in a different position. They don't need to show everything they're working on because there was so much third-party stuff to showcase.
Yeah,
as well.
My I guess one of the biggest sort of things I wanted to see was just Nintendo be like, all right, when you watch a showcase like a Summer Games Fest or the Game Awards, Nintendo gamers aren't going to feel like they're left out. Like current games are going to be coming to this thing, and I don't feel like that fear was quelled necessarily. But it's also too early to tell. Like, you know, Sega didn't have that much of like, I guess, an appearance here. Like they showed like a Yakuza 0, but like they got like the Sonic racing game and a bunch of other stuff that would be shown yet. I understand why I didn't show it here. There's no way. They're like, no, we're not showing that next to this fucking open world Mario Kart. There's no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got some more sort of things I want answered, but we're never going to get all of it here. We've got, you know, they brought out a brand new app so they could sort of drip feed us over the next couple of months on the way to launch
and drip feed
for the rest of our lives.
And I'm ready for it. I'm going to be by my Nintendo Today app every day, Drew.
Yeah, I'm going to be checking my phone, opening my Pokemon cards, checking the app. I'm just on the Nintendo bloody dopamine hit instead of Twitter or whatever. It's
Yep. I'll get you news without going on Twitter. If you want.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Are you going to get the console or just with the game or the console by itself? What are you pre-ordering?
I kind of don't care. I'll just sort of get what I can get. Like,
okay.
Like if I was like, oh no, I didn't get the code.
I mean, I just want the console by itself, I think. Yeah, because if I can just buy it on the eShop, Mario Kart.
Yeah, like it's obviously save a bit of money. Like if I was going into a shop and I had time to stand there and go, do I want Mario Kart? Do I want it for $10 cheaper?
But whether
yeah, but when we get a chance to get on, dude, it's going to be just click on what you can click on, dude.
Yeah, click. Yeah, true.
Yeah, just get what you can get. If I can get the Mario Kart one, it's like, yeah.
Do I try and wait to get the accessories as well, like the Pro Controller and then the camera?
Well, this is how I do it. Just go to the console, click the console, buy it, pre-order it, and then go back and try and get the other stuff.
All right.
Like, don't bog down your cart with other stuff. Just make sure the console goes through.
Right. That's a fair call. I can live without the other stuff. Day one.
Yeah, because like if you don't get a Pro Controller, I don't know, just use the Joy-Cons. You'll get a Pro Controller eventually. You know what I mean?
It'll happen. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, you'll be right. But just make sure the console gets done.
Make sure you log in beforehand and you get your details in case you need to reset your password. Do that kind
of stuff. My EB Games is always logged in. I'm always checking for deals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The presentation, because it was all in Japanese, I found it a little hard to. It would have been nice if there was an English, if we had Doug speak and a bit of a, English speaking presentation to it all. I understand that they're the ones working on the actual hardware and bringing it to us, and very important that they get their limelight, and that's all well and good. I just feel from actual presentation and enjoyment perspective, to make it more accessible, that having an English voiced presentation throughout the entire thing might have helped. But just a small little gripe for me.
Yeah, I mean that's just for us because it's like 12 o'clock at night, and it's trying to keep up a little bit, especially when it was pure Japanese and it's just subtitles.
I never felt tired. I was very awake, but it's just you're just focusing on the reading, instead of taking it all in.
Yeah,
just a small thing.
I gotta say, dude,
I'm fine, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling it now, man. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm feeling it.
You're ready. You're ready to pre-order, and then
we've got 40 minutes until pre-order time.
Yep.
Is it just EB Games? It must just be EB Games.
I think it is. Yep.
I think they picked the strategy of being like, all right, we're going to do it at an inconvenient time, so we get the trickle of hardcore people that catch it after the Nintendo Direct, and then there'll be like a bit of a less, like it'll sort of spread it out a bit more rather than just like 9 o'clock in the morning. Then I don't know. It's not a bad strategy because we're sort of worried that they're going to use their subscription service and lock it behind subscribing to 12 months of whatever their thing is. Which
I thought about, and I just, in the end, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to try and find a way without having to pay that $49 because I didn't want any of the crap, any of the benefits just didn't appeal to me at all.
No.
I'm so glad I didn't do that now.
Oh yeah, you'll be pretty frustrated.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, I mean, there would have been people who did do it, thinking that this will help them get it, and it might later on, but sounds like we might be able to avoid that, unless they haven't specified in that tweet what you need to be.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I thought that was a great directory. I really thought they gave us some really cool surprises. Obviously, Mario Kart was a big thing, and that looks phenomenal. It's more powerful, more stuff going on that we wanted. The camera brings a great dynamic to enjoy Nintendo games with others in a more intimate way for those who are not in your lounge room with you. So I think that just opens up so much opportunity. Great for game nights and a lot of the games that they enjoy. It means one less application open, all in the one spot, which is a bit more seamless, which is great. And it's just the third party support's there, so it's just going to be one of those cool things. I think they've spelled it out really well. I think there's a lot of confusion. I don't think people are confused, like going from Wii to Wii U. There's none of that. So I think it makes a lot of sense to people. They've been so deliberate with everything, which makes me really happy. And I just think this thing's gonna sell like hotcakes, and it's gonna be, we're not gonna get that big lull you get after the big first successful one. I just feel they're doing everything they need to for this to be at least another 100 million seller console right here. The foundations have been laid for that success to happen.
Well, it certainly seems like it. Just like, I can't remember if I mentioned it while we were recording or before we were recording, but I think it was while we were recording. I'm really out of it, guys. I'm sorry. But like when the stream buggered up, I exited out of it just to see how many people are watching, and it's like 1.2 million people were watching at that moment.
Yeah, crazy.
So there's at least a million people who are like, yeah, I'm interested. Bare minimum. So yeah, no, she's going to be a very popular item, and at launch, just out the gates, like you mentioned, it seems like a very small sort of launch lineup, and I would have expected a little bit more, just purely out of companies wanting to be there. But a bit of a strange time for like more of the annual titles and Call of Duty and all of that. Like Call of Duty this year is not even announced yet, and FIFA usually comes out September, so a lot of that stuff will roll out over the next couple of months. But just at launch, man, like if I pick up obviously Mario Kart, and maybe like I'll jump into Yakuza and Cyberpunk, I don't know, just to test it out. Haven't played through Cyberpunk. I got it on Steam, but don't know. Maybe I'll just cave into Switch hype and get it there. I don't know. But yeah, it looks great at launch. I just have some more questions about ongoing third-party support, say early next year. What does it look like? Like next Assassin's Creed game, will that be coming? Like Assassin's Creed Shadows, is that ready to go on Switch this year? Like it just come out on other platforms this year, earlier this month. So there's a lot of questions I just have for that. Because yeah, I want this to be like a really great place to play third-party games on the go. But we'll see whether it will just be a Nintendo machine or it'll be a nice third-party machine. But yeah.
Yeah, we will see. Very exciting time. It's great. And this thing's only 2 months away, Drew.
Yes.
We're probably going to play this thing next month in Melbourne at the Experience. We get a few weeks of extra exclusive time before the worldwide release. We get about 4 weeks, I think. So that'd be a cool chance to play a few of these games and to experience it that way.
Yeah, very excited. I'm just as excited as I am very tired.
Yep. All right, do we need to wrap this up? You can try and wake you up before pre-orders go live.
Yeah, I'm happy to be up. I can click and clack around, but yeah, my talking isn't very good. Falling apart very quick.
Probably, yeah, and for a podcast as well, probably instrumental that you have that. So
yeah, but I'm looking forward to like really digging in and getting all the information more concrete as the information comes out, and we check like I guess the Nintendo Today app, and they have like a lot of sort of interviews about the making of Switch 2 and that on the website as well, which will be going up on, I think they said the 4th, so in a couple of days. So we'll have a lot to break down across our 2 podcasts, Josh. Like you'll be able to break a lot down on Nintendovania, and when we record again at the House of Mario, we'll be able to go over this stuff again and sort of see how we're feeling about it all, whether we're more happy about it or we're like, actually, that Mario Kart game, I want it to be as small as possible. I don't want it to be an open world.
Drew, you can be a cow in it. An
Yeah, that's
actual
right.
cow.
What the fuck?
And a dolphin.
I missed the dolphin. I saw the Moo Moo
Dolphin.
Meadows cow. I'm like,
Yeah,
what the
I've
fuck?
forgotten the dolphin's name and the cow's name, but you can be them both.
Why not? Did they run out of characters? Like, fuck. We've ran out of peach gold peaches. You know what I mean?
All
They've
before
ran
Kirby.
out.
Cow. Love it.
Yeah, actually, like, I'm not really for it to be like a Super Smash Brothers Mario Kart, but I am up for guest characters like Kirby, just, Link, Animal Crossing Villager.
Yep.
Just let them to come back.
Yeah.
But if the cow made it before Kirby,
Sounds like it has.
sounds like it has, doesn't it?
That's the world we live in, Drew.
That's gonna be so funny. Like you're playing like an open world squad, just rolling around, and one of these is a freaking just a dread. It's not even like a character. It's not called Mooey the Moo Mare cow or something. It's just a cow.
Yep.
Anyway,
right.
This has been great, Josh. It's been a lot of fun.
Been very
Let's
good.
pre-order this goddamn Nintendo Switch 2, eh?
Yeah, let's do it. Good luck, everyone listening. I hope you get it yourselves. Obviously, this comes out after all this, and hopefully, if you want it day one, that you get it as well.
Absolutely. So thank you very much for listening. Really appreciate it. This is one of the most exciting times to be a Nintendo fan. So let's all embrace it together and hit that C button and have a chat. There's got to be a podcast that pops up called like press that C button. If it makes the sound when the podcast starts, Someone take that. That's not bad.
Take it. Yep. You heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Someone gets to the end of this this blabbering mouth. Oh, brilliant. $1 million idea. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you later.
Bye, everyone.